Hi, I'm Amy. I'm Director of the Center for Holy Land Studies for the Assemblies of God, and I'm here again with my friend Kay, who is Director of Women's Ministries for the Assemblies of God. And they recently released a theme for 2018 called On a Voyage. And I was talking to Kay a little bit ago, going through that we all are on a voyage in our lives.
Right.
I've been on one myself, and some of it has been difficult and some has been smooth. And I imagine in your study that you have done coming up with this, that you have gone through some of these lessons.
Yes.
And I was wondering if you wouldn't mind telling us a specific lesson that you could pull out just to give us a sample of what people are going to be experiencing.
Oh, absolutely. I love the story of Paul and his journey as a prisoner on this horrific voyage that ended up with massive, it's stated as a northeaster in the Bible, a tremendous storm that they thought they would all die. And but God promised Paul that he was with him and that he was on assignment on his way to Rome. He would stand before Caesar. And so Paul had the assurance that although this voyage was rocky and rough and, nothing like what they probably had hoped for or expected, that God would be with them and that they'd make it okay. So part of what my favorite part of the book is about storms. And Amy, you're right, when you draw the parallel that we're on a voyage, our life is a voyage. It's one of the metaphors that we can use and that God really used for me in this journey of writing for this theme and just taking this message and breaking it down into what our current lives, how we relate to that. So storms are something that I think it's obvious we can use them as analogies for rough seasons, rough situations, rough times in our lives. And so Paul, as he goes through his storm, we can look, and as we do this study, or we're in the devotional and we're looking at what storms Paul went through, for me, I know that translates to times when it was dark. The sun, in Paul's story, they couldn't see the sun for days because the storm was so great. And how many times have you seen and experienced a time where you felt like you knew God was there, but it was hard, and everything within you felt overwhelmed by the storm? And so I have friends all over the map with the storms that they're in right now, friends with cancer, friends going through situations that they feel their hearts are broken, there's fear, all the things that you would experience in a physical storm that we know Paul and the people on the ship with him experience. Those are analogies for what we feel. They go along with what we go through in life. Sometimes the storm is so unexpected, it hits us like a hurricane, and it just knocks us off of our feet, and it's short, but it's catastrophic. And then other storms come and they batter us for a long time, and it's not as intense, but it's unyielding. And either way, it's a storm, and God is the one who never leaves us in these storms. During those times, we need others, we love others, we've got to have each other, but there's nothing like the anchor that we hold to in a storm that's God, that's God alone. And the nearer we draw to Him, the safer we might feel in that storm. Just like a child would grab around our legs and grip us when they're scared, that's what I do with the Lord. And He never leaves us or forsakes us, so He assures me. I can hear His voice, because in the storm it's noisy and there are all kinds of competing sounds, but when I draw near to Him in the storm, I hear His whisper, I feel His touch, I feel the reassurance of His presence. So my heart and my desire is that part of the message will really go deep in the hearts of women who find themselves in a storm in this season.
And I would say, and adding to that with Jesus, He found those places when He pulled away and created space between He and God, and pulled away from the crowds. And so when you are in those storms, to make sure that you are taking the time to be refreshed and energized and let God fill you up. So I thank you for putting this together, and I'm excited to see how people experience it.
Thank you, Amy.